Well, yeah, I think positive messages. Obviously, everybody's happy for our team, and obviously, family is happy that they can still see me play and us play. You know, it's a great team to be in and a lot of good guys. So I think positive messages, obviously.
What's the realization of after you go through something like that, you got to go start over and do it all over again? It's the playoffs.
Yeah, it's now it's time to reset. We had 2 days there to enjoy, and now we start a war again tomorrow. Against a really good team in Winnipeg. So it's about resetting, and in playoffs it's important never get too high when you're winning, and never get too low when you're struggling or losing. So that's the mindset.
Mikko, what kind of challenges does Winnipeg present that maybe Colorado didn't? How do they differ between the two?
Yeah, I think obviously defensively really good. That's what they showed in the regular season. I think St. Louis did a good job against them to score quite a bit of goals, especially in their home ice. But it's a tough series. They have good deep team. They have good D, and obviously probably a Vezina MVP goalie. So we gotta try to learn from St. Louis a little bit what they did maybe, and try to repeat that.
You mentioned the other night the mental aspect, how tough it was for you this entire season. How have you gotten through it? What have you kind of been able to do to get over that mental hurdle here the last few months?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I guess, mental. Try to learn mental toughness, and just it's important the outside noise doesn't get to your head, and just try to focus on next practice, next game, next shift. That's how it goes basically. That's how you can stay in the moment and not think about things too much, and that's important in the playoffs as well.
How about the guys here? Who have you leaned on maybe to get comfortable, just getting settled in Dallas? I know you talked about going to S's house before, but how have you been able to settle in here and get comfortable?
Yeah, it's obviously a lot of Finns in the team, so that helps, I would say. It's I speak good English, so it wouldn't be a problem if there's zero Finns in the team. But so I love all the American and Canadian guys as well, and everybody who's in the team. But everybody's been very helpful, and it's been surprisingly easy transition. Guys and all the staff in the organization have really helped me.
You haven't had the opportunity to play with a full-strength team yet here. As you guys are getting more healthy now, what's your excitement about that, knowing what this team can be as guys like Miro and Robertson start to make their way back?
Yeah, it's in playoffs. It's important to try to stay as healthy as you can. You never will be probably 100% healthy as a team, but those two guys are one of the best players in the league, both of them. And it gives a good boost and gives another two difference makers in the lineup, who can any given night have a night and maybe win us a game and stuff like that. So it's very important if we can see those guys back in the lineup.
Miro, if you had to pick one key to getting a win in Game 1 against Winnipeg, what would that be?
Yeah, I think a good start on the road. Obviously they had a really good Game7, and everybody's pumped up about that game. They almost went to summer vacation, but they had the grit and mindset to come back. And so I think the start in the game, because they're building a tough place to play at. They won all 4 home games against St. Louis, and that was a difference maker in that series. So to start well and try to frustrate their team.
Anything you can take from last year's playoff series against them to this year on a new team?
I don't know. I think it's a similar team we're playing. I think coaches have some key things that maybe Colorado did last year, and what St. Louis did this year to maybe make it a little harder on them. But I can't reveal those here.